Ever wish you could just snap your fingers and have your finances all figured out?
Oh, yeah.
You know, effortlessly saving, investing, without the stress of wondering if you can even afford takeout this week.
Oh, it's the worst.
Well, today we're ditching the magic and getting real with some simple steps
Okay.
to take control of your money starting right now.
Yeah.
I'm Terry, and I'm excited for this.
And I'm Sheri, ready to turn financial overwhelm into a clear plan you can stick with.
Yes, and before we jump in, if you're enjoying these deep dives, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future episodes.
Definitely.
And let us know in the comments what you want us to cover.
We love hearing from you.
Yes, we do. And if you find our work valuable and want to support us, you can find more resources on Patreon at patreon.com/Kenna McAllister.
That's right.
Or buy us a coffee at buymecoffee.com, Jamie McAllister.
Thanks for the support.
All right, let's get down to business.
Let's do it.
This deep dive is all about personal finance basics. But just a quick disclaimer, we are not financial advisors.
Right.
This is for informational purposes only.
Think of it like a roadmap, not turn-by-turn directions.
Ooh, I like that.
We'll give you the big picture.
Okay.
And tools that you can then adapt to your own situation.
Perfect. So let's unpack this whole idea of personal finance.
Okay.
We're going to tackle those too much month at the end of the money problems. And it all starts with something we probably should have learned in high school.
Oh, tell me about it.
Understanding your spending habits.
It's so important.
Yes. It's fascinating how many people just avoid looking closely at their finances.
Totally. It's like that burst pipe analogy, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Ignoring it doesn't make it go away.
Nope. And you mentioned highlighting some articles about spending trackers.
Yeah.
Let's dive into why that's so crucial.
Okay.
Tracking every dollar for a month might seem a little tedious, but it gives you this clear picture of where your money's actually going. Even that late night pizza.
Even the pizza.
Shoot. The key here is no judgment, just data.
Exactly.
Think of it as a detective investigation into your own habits.
I love that.
So once you have that data, then you can start building a budget.
Yes.
I know some people cringe at that word, budget.
Oh, yeah.
But it doesn't have to be restrictive. You even flagged some concerns about restrictive budgets in your notes.
Yeah, for sure. Think of it less like a diet and more like a roadmap.
Okay.
You're not depriving yourself. You're making choices about where your money goes.
Choices. I like it. That 50-30-20 rule is a great starting point. 50% on needs, 30% on wants, 20% on savings and debt. But I'm curious, in your research, did you find instances where this didn't quite work? What about someone in a high cost of living area?
That's where the flexibility comes in. You know, this rule, it's a framework, not a rigid law.
Okay.
So if your needs are higher because of where you live, you might adjust the percentages slightly. The point is to have a plan.
It's like having a restaurant menu.
Oh, yeah.
Going in without checking the prices first. It's a recipe for overspending and financial indigestion.
I love that analogy.
Speaking of planning, let's talk about setting financial goals.
This is where it gets interesting.
This is where the rubber meets the road.
Yeah.
Goals give your budgeting purpose.
For sure.
It's like going to the gym with a specific target in mind.
Exactly.
You're much more likely to stay motivated.
Yes, and prioritizing those goals is key.
Absolutely.
Emergency fund is so crucial.
It is.
Aim for $1,000 initially.
Okay.
Then work towards 3 to 6 months of living expenses.
So it's like a financial safety net.
Exactly.
And then we've got that high interest debt monster to tackle. Credit cards usually being the main culprit.
Oh, for sure.
Those high rates are money just leaking out of your pocket every month.
It's true. You're essentially just for the privilege of owing money.
It's like a penalty.
Right.
Once you've got that under control,
yes,
then you can focus on those exciting medium-term goals.
Okay.
Like a home down payment or saving for retirement.
Which, by the way, the earlier you start, the better, thanks to the magic of compound interest.
It's magical.
Yeah.
But let's be real. This all sounds great in theory. But cutting back can be tough.
It can be, but it doesn't have to be about deprivation, though.
Okay.
Think of it more like trimming the fat.
I love that, trimming the fat. What are some painless ways to start?
Well, look for what we call autopilot spending.
Autopilot spending.
Like, are you subscribed to multiple streaming services that you barely even use?
Oh, yeah, I've been there.
Maybe downgrade or cancel a few?
Makes sense. Out of sight, out of mind, and out of my bank account.
Exactly. What about those bills that we pay every month?
The bills. Is there any wiggle room there?
Absolutely. Don't be afraid to negotiate with your providers.
Ooh.
Internet insurance, you name it.
Okay.
You might be surprised what a simple phone call can achieve.
That's a good point. And it's not about never trading yourself.
No, of course not.
Maybe that daily latte becomes a weekend reward.
Exactly.
The coffee tastes better when it's guilt-free.
And fueling your vacation fund.
And fueling the vacation fund. I like that. It's all about conscious choices.
Yes.
And speaking of saving, let's talk about building those smart saving habits.
So important.
This is where automation becomes your best friend.
Oh, yeah.
Set up those automatic transfers to your savings account.
Okay.
Pay yourself first without relying on willpower.
Because, let's be honest, trusting your future self to remember to save is like trusting them not to eat the last piece of cake.
I know myself too well.
Yeah.
And something I found really helpful
Yeah.
was having separate savings accounts with labels.
Ooh.
Like emergency fund, vacation, new laptop, whatever motivates you.
That visual reminder can be really powerful. It's like watching your dreams take shape.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Okay.
Debt.
It's a big one.
It can feel overwhelming, but we can break it down.
Yeah.
Acknowledging it is the first step.
It is.
List out all your debts, including interest rates and balances. It might be painful to see it all laid out, but it's necessary.
It is.
It's about taking ownership and kind of facing the music.
Totally. And once you have that clear picture, you can develop a strategy.
So there are two popular approaches.
Yeah.
The avalanche method, tackling the highest interest rate first.
Okay.
And the snowball method.
Yes.
Starting with the smallest balance for those quick wins.
I like that snowball analogy.
It's about building momentum.
Yeah.
Which strategy did you find to be more effective in your research?
Well, the avalanche method actually saves you the most money in the long run.
Okay.
But the snowball method can be more psychologically motivating.
Right.
Especially if you're feeling really overwhelmed.
Yeah.
It really depends on your personality and your financial situation.
So it's like choosing your adventure path.
Exactly.
But whichever you pick, consistency is key, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Every payment, no matter how small, is progress towards freedom from debt.
That's encouraging.
Yeah.
And once you're debt-free,
yes,
the goal is to stay that way.
It is.
Avoid those credit card balances that you can't pay off every month.
Yeah, it's like taking one step forward and two steps back.
Ugh.
You don't want to undo all your hard work.
Definitely not. No, we're not financial advisors.
Right.
Just two people having a conversation about money.
That's right.
We're speaking of making your money work for you.
Yes.
Let's touch on investing.
Okay.
Once you have your emergency fund and debt under control, investing can help your savings grow faster than a regular savings account.
It's true.
And there are simple ways to get started.
Like what?
Like low-fee index funds.
Okay.
Or employer-sponsored retirement accounts.
Those are good options.
These options let you dip your toes into the market without needing a finance degree.
Exactly.
The key is to understand the concept and know that it's an important part of building that long-term financial stability.
Yes, definitely. And we can do a deeper dive on specific investing strategies in a future episode.
100%.
Yeah.
But for now, the main takeaway is to put your money to work for you.
Make it work for you.
And remember, investing always involves some level of risk. So do your research.
Yes.
Understand your risk tolerance before jumping in.
We'll explore that more in part 2.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back to our deep dive on personal finance basics.
In part 1, we laid the groundwork talking about budgeting saving and tackling that debt monster.
It's a beast.
Now let's explore some specific strategies to put those principles into action.
Sounds good. One of the most effective ways to boost your savings is to reduce your expenses.
That makes sense. But how do we actually do that without feeling like we're constantly depriving ourselves?
Right. Nobody wants to live a life of misery just to save a few bucks.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not about deprivation. It's about being mindful and intentional with your spending.
Think of it as a game of strategy where you're optimizing your resources.
Okay, I like that. So where can we typically find those hidden savings opportunities?
Let's start with housing, which is usually the biggest expense for most people.
That's true.
Yeah.
So for renters, maybe negotiating rent with your landlord or considering a roommate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And for homeowners, refinancing your mortgage to get a lower interest rate can save you a significant amount of money over time.
It's like a pay raise, but for your house.
I like that one.
Okay, what about transportation?
Yeah.
That's another big one for a lot of folks.
If possible, walking, biking, or using public transportation instead of driving can save you a bundle on gas and car maintenance.
Plus, it's good for the environment.
And your health.
And your health. And for those who have to drive carpooling or ride-sharing, can be good alternatives.
Those are good options.
And don't forget about the power of negotiation when it comes to car insurance.
Oh, yes. Shop around for the best rates.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to ask for discounts.
Good tip. Those are some practical tips for those big ticket items.
Yeah.
What about everyday expenses?
Okay.
Like groceries and entertainment?
Yeah, those little things can really add up.
They do. Meal planning and cooking at home more often can significantly reduce your grocery bill.
It's amazing how much money you can save by just packing your lunch a few times a week.
It's true. And I know you're a big fan of those weekly flyers.
Oh, yes. Finding deals and discounts at the supermarket is like my favorite thing.
It's a treasure hunt.
It is. And consider buying generic brands when possible.
Oh, yeah.
They're often just as good as name brands, but much cheaper.
I've been pleasantly surprised by some generic brands.
Me too.
And what about entertainment?
Hmm.
Does it have to be all Netflix and chill?
Not at all. Explore free or low-cost options like going to parks, attending community events, or having game nights at home.
Okay.
Instead of expensive outings.
Yeah.
You can have fun without breaking the bank.
There are so many creative ways to have fun without spending a fortune.
Right. It's all about shifting your mindset.
So true. Okay, let's talk about a topic that can be both exciting and intimidating.
Ooh.
Investing.
Okay.
It feels like this whole other world that I'm not quite ready to enter.
I get that investing can be a powerful tool for building wealth, but it's important to approach it with caution and knowledge.
Right. It's not something to jump into without doing your research.
Definitely.
And understanding the risks involved.
Exactly. But for those who are ready to take the plunge,
Okay.
there are a few basic principles to keep in mind.
Give us Investing 101.
Okay. All right. So first, start by defining your financial goals.
Okay.
What are you saving for retirement? A down payment on a house. A dream vacation.
Okay, so having clear goals will help you determine your investment timeline and risk tolerance.
Exactly. Those two things are definitely connected.
Because if you're investing for a long-term goal, like retirement, you can afford to take on more risk.
Right, because you have more time to recover from any market fluctuations.
But if you're saving for a short-term goal, like a down payment,
yeah,
you'll want to choose more conservative investments.
Exactly. And speaking of risk tolerance,
Yes.
it's crucial to understand your own comfort level with risk.
Some people are comfortable with high-risk, high-reward investments,
Right.
while others prefer a more steady and predictable approach.
There's no right or wrong answer.
Right.
It's all about finding what aligns with your personality and financial goals.
It's like choosing your adventure path in the investing world.
I like that. Once you have a sense of your risk tolerance,
Mm-hmm.
you can start exploring different investment options.
Okay. But there are so many options available.
I know, right?
From stocks and bonds to mutual funds and real estate.
It can be overwhelming to know where to start.
It can. That's why it's helpful to do your research.
Yes.
And consider seeking guidance from a financial advisor.
Absolutely. A financial advisor can help you create a personalized investment plan that aligns with your goals and risk tolerance.
So it's like having a personal trainer for your money.
I like that. They can also provide valuable insights and education about different investment strategies.
And remember, investing is a long-term game.
Yes.
Don't get discouraged by short-term market fluctuations.
Right. It's like sailing a ship.
Okay.
You'll encounter rough seas along the way,
Hmm.
but keep your eye on the horizon and you'll eventually reach your destination.
Love that analogy.
Yeah.
Stay focused on your goals.
Yes.
Be patient
Mm-hmm.
and ride out those ups and downs.
Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about something that's often overlooked.
Okay.
Equally important,
What side?
protecting your assets.
Protecting what we've earned.
Okay, we've talked about building wealth,
Yeah.
but it's also crucial to protect what you've earned.
Because life happens.
Exactly. Life can throw unexpected curveballs.
So what are some key strategies for protecting our hard-earned assets?
One of the most important things you can do is to have adequate insurance coverage.
Okay, so that includes health insurance, car insurance, home insurance, and disability insurance.
Exactly. Insurance acts as a safety net protecting you from financial ruin in the event of an unexpected illness accident or other unforeseen circumstances.
It's like having a backup parachute.
I like that.
You hope you never have to use it. But it's good to know it's there if you need it.
Exactly. It's peace of mind knowing that you're covered in case something goes wrong.
And what about estate planning?
Ooh, that's a big one.
I know it can be a tough topic to think about.
It can be.
But it's important, isn't it?
It is, especially for those with dependents or significant assets.
Okay.
Estate planning involves creating a will, establishing a trust, and designating beneficiaries for your accounts.
So it's like creating a roadmap for your loved ones to follow, in case something happens to you.
Exactly. It ensures that your assets are distributed according to your wishes.
Okay.
And helps minimize taxes and legal complications for your loved ones.
It's a gift you can give your family.
Yes.
Providing them with clarity and security during a difficult time.
Exactly. It's about taking care of those you love even after you're gone. Now, let's talk about something that can be a major obstacle to financial stability.
What's that?
Debt.
Debt.
Oh, yes.
It's like a heavy anchor weighing you down.
It can feel like you're constantly playing catch up.
And it can be so difficult to make progress towards your financial goals when you're weighed down by debt.
Absolutely. So let's dive into some specific strategies for managing and eliminating debt.
Okay.
We talked about the debt snowball method and the debt avalanche method in part 1, but let's go a little deeper.
Okay.
The debt snowball method involves focusing on paying off the smallest debt first, regardless of the interest rate.
So the idea is that each small victory will give you momentum and motivation to keep going.
Exactly. It's like knocking down dominoes.
Okay.
Once you get the first one going, the rest fall in line.
I like that visual.
Once the smallest debt is paid off, you roll that payment amount into the next smallest debt, and so on.
Okay.
It's a snowball gathering speed as it rolls downhill.
And the debt avalanche method prioritizes paying off the debt with the highest interest rate first.
Yes.
This approach saves you the most money in interest charges over time.
It does. It's like tackling the biggest, baddest monster first. So you can breathe a little easier.
I like that. Whichever method you choose, the key is to be consistent.
Yes.
And make more than the minimum payments whenever possible.
Right. Even an extra $10 or $20 a month can make a big difference over time.
And don't be afraid to negotiate with your creditors.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're willing to lower your interest rate or waive fees if you're experiencing financial hardship.
It's always worth asking.
Absolutely. And remember, there are resources available to help you manage your debt.
Like what?
Credit counseling agencies can provide guidance and support.
Okay.
And debt consolidation loans can help you streamline your payments and potentially lower your interest rate.
So it's like having a team of experts in your corner.
Exactly.
Helping you fight the good fight against debt.
That's a good way to put it. It's important to explore all your options and find what works best for your situation.
So true. Now let's shift our focus to a topic that's both exciting and challenging.
Okay, tell me more.
Achieving financial independence.
Oh, that's a big one.
It's like reaching the summit of a mountain. It takes effort and perseverance, but the view from the top is breathtaking.
I love that analogy. What does financial independence mean?
Financial independence means having enough income and assets to cover your expenses without relying on a traditional job.
Okay.
It's the ultimate goal for many people.
It is.
Representing freedom and the ability to live life on your own terms.
That's the dream.
It is, but achieving financial independence requires careful planning,
Yes.
discipline, and a long-term perspective.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly. So let's explore some key strategies for reaching this milestone.
Okay, I'm ready.
One of the most important steps is to create a detailed budget and track your expenses meticulously.
Okay.
You need to know exactly where your money is going and identify areas where you can cut back.
Right. This will free up more cash flow to invest and save.
It's like creating a solid foundation for your financial house.
I like that. Next, focus on increasing your income.
Increasing your income.
Okay. This could involve negotiating a raise, taking on a side hustle, or starting a business. The more income you generate, the faster you can reach your financial goals.
It's like adding more fuel to your financial engine.
Yes. And of course, investing is essential for building long-term wealth.
We talked about that.
We did diversify your investments across different asset classes like stocks, bonds, and real estate to minimize risk and maximize returns.
So it's like planting a garden with a variety of flowers.
Oh, I love that.
If one type doesn't do well, the others can still thrive.
Exactly. And consider working with a financial advisor to create a personalized investment plan.
Okay.
They can help you navigate the complexities of the market and make sure your investments are aligned with your goals.
Good advice.
Yeah.
And remember, patience is key.
Oh, yes.
Building wealth takes time. So stay focused on your goals.
Okay.
Be consistent with your savings and investments.
Yes.
And don't get discouraged by short-term setbacks.
Right. Celebrate your progress along the way.
I like that.
And enjoy the journey.
Enjoy the journey. Financial independence is not just about the destination. It's about the journey of taking control of your finances and creating a life you love.
Now let's talk about a topic that can be especially challenging for young adults.
Okay, what's that?
Managing student loan debt.
Student loan debt. It's like a shadow that follows you after graduation.
It can be. Student loan debt has become a significant burden for many graduates,
Right.
impacting their ability to save, invest, and achieve other financial goals.
It's a big problem. So what can we do to tackle this beast?
First, understand the terms of your loans,
Okay.
including the interest rates, repayment options, and any available forgiveness programs.
Okay. Knowledge is power.
Yes, it is when it comes to student loans.
And do we just start throwing money at it?
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Consider consolidating your loans to simplify payments and potentially lower your interest rate.
So it's like streamlining your debt into a single, more manageable package.
Exactly. And what about those income-driven repayment plans you've heard about?
Yeah. Tell me more about those.
Those can be a great option. Income-driven repayment plans adjust your monthly payments based on your income.
Oh.
These plans can make your loans more manageable, especially if you're just starting out in your career and your income is lower.
So it's like having a flexible payment plan that adjusts to your financial situation.
Exactly.
All right.
And remember, there are resources available to help you navigate the student loan landscape.
Give me some examples.
Organizations like the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau offer free guidance and support.
So it's like having a guide through the student loan jungle.
I like that one. Now let's shift our focus to a topic that's relevant for everyone.
Okay. What's that?
Protecting your identity and credit.
Protecting your identity and credit. It's like building a shield around your financial information.
Exactly. In today's digital age, identity theft and fraud are major concerns.
They are.
It's crucial to take proactive steps to safeguard your personal information and credit history.
You can feel like a minefield out there with scammers lurking around every corner.
It can. So what are some practical tips for protecting ourselves? Start by monitoring your credit reports regularly.
Okay.
You can get free copies of your credit reports from the 3 major credit bureaus, Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, once a year.
Okay, so review those reports.
Yes, review them carefully for any errors or suspicious activity.
It's like doing a security check on your financial profile.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you find something that doesn't look right,
Yeah.
dispute it immediately with the credit bureau.
What about all the online scams and phishing attempts?
Oh, yeah. Those are tricky.
It's hard to know what's legitimate and what's not these days.
It can be cautious about sharing your personal information online and offline.
Okay, good advice.
Avoid clicking on suspicious links in emails or text messages.
Right.
And be wary of unsolicited phone calls asking for personal information.
So basically, be a detective.
Yes. Trust your instincts.
Okay.
And don't give out information unless you're absolutely sure it's safe.
So be vigilant.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to hang up or hit that delete button.
Exactly. And what about passwords?
The passwords. I feel like I have a million different passwords for everything.
I know, it's a lot. Use strong, unique passwords for all your online accounts.
Okay.
And enable two-factor authentication whenever possible.
Two-factor authentication. All right, tell me more about that.
Two-factor authentication adds an extra layer of security by requiring you to enter a code from your phone or email in addition to your password.
So it's like having a double lock on your door.
Exactly. It makes it much harder for intruders to get in.
Okay. I know it can be a pain to set up two-factor authentication.
It can be.
But it's worth it for the peace of mind.
I agree. What about credit monitoring services?
Credit monitoring services. Are those worth it?
Consider using a credit monitoring service.
Okay.
They will alert you to any changes in your credit report.
Okay.
These services can help you detect identity theft early on and minimize the damage.
So it's like having a security guard on duty 24/7?
Yes, watching out for any suspicious activity.
I like that. That sounds like a good investment for peace of mind.
It can be. And finally, stay informed about the latest scams and fraud techniques.
How do we do that?
The Federal Trade Commission provides valuable resources and tips on its website.
Perfect knowledge is your best defense.
It is. Now let's talk about a topic that's often overlooked,
Okay.
but can have a significant impact on your financial well-being.
What's that?
Your credit score.
Your credit score. It's like a financial GPA
Yes.
that lenders use to judge your trustworthiness.
Exactly. Your credit score is a 3-digit number that represents your credit worthiness.
Okay.
Lenders use your credit score to assess your risk as a borrower and determine whether to approve you for loans or credit cards.
So a higher credit score means better interest rates and loan terms.
Generally, yes, which can save you money over time.
But how do we build and maintain a good credit score?
Right. It feels like this mysterious number that's out of our control.
It does.
It's not as mysterious as it seems.
Okay, good.
One of the most important factors is paying your bills on time every time.
Okay, so it demonstrates responsibility and reliability to lenders.
Exactly. It's like showing up on time for work.
Okay.
Builds trust and shows you're dependable.
Makes sense. Keep your credit utilization low.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Credit utilization refers to the amount of credit you're using compared to your total available credit.
So it's like a pie chart.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure you're not using up too much of the pie.
Exactly. Aim to keep your credit utilization below 30% to maintain a good credit score.
30%.
Yeah.
Got it. And what about opening new credit cards? Is that a good or bad thing?
Don't open too many new credit accounts at once.
Yeah.
Each new credit inquiry can potentially lower your score, especially if you're already carrying a lot of debt.
It's like applying for too many jobs at once.
Right.
They can make you look a little desperate.
And less attractive to lenders.
So be selective and strategic about your credit applications.
Exactly. And finally, check your credit report regularly for errors.
Okay.
And dispute any inaccuracies you find. Even small errors can impact your score, so it's important to stay vigilant.
So it's like proofreading your resume.
Yes.
You want to make sure everything is accurate and reflects you in the best possible light.
Now let's shift gears and talk about a topic that's often associated with negative emotions.
Ooh, which one is that?
Money and relationships.
Money and relationships. Yeah, that can be tough.
It can be like navigating a minefield of emotions and financial complexities.
Money can be a major source of conflict in relationships.
It's true.
Whether it's with a partner, family member, or friend.
It's important to approach these conversations with honesty, openness, and a willingness to compromise.
It's like building a bridge of understanding.
Yes, and finding common ground.
So how do we do that?
Start by setting clear expectations and boundaries.
Okay.
Discuss your financial goals, spending habits, and debt levels openly and honestly.
So it's like laying all your cards on the table.
Yes, and having an open dialogue.
And then what?
Create a budget together and agree on how you'll manage shared expenses.
Okay, so it's like creating a financial game plan that everyone's on board with.
Exactly. And be willing to compromise and find solutions that work for both parties.
Because relationships are all about give and take.
Yes, and finances are no different.
What if you're struggling to communicate effectively or reach agreements?
That can happen. Consider seeking guidance from a financial therapist or counselor.
Okay.
They can provide neutral, objective support and help you navigate these sensitive conversations.
So it's like having a mediator.
Yes.
Who can help you find common ground and create a win-win situation.
Exactly. Now let's wrap up part 2 of our deep dive by talking about a topic that's essential for long-term financial success.
I know, what's that?
Financial literacy.
Financial literacy. It's like having a toolbox full of knowledge and skills to manage your money effectively.
Exactly. Financial literacy is the knowledge and skills you need to manage your money effectively.
Okay.
It's about understanding basic financial concepts, making informed decisions, and taking control of your financial future.
So how do we improve our financial literacy?
Well, there are so many resources available.
Like what?
From books and articles to online courses and workshops.
Oh, okay.
Take advantage of these resources and invest in your financial education.
So it's like going to school for your finances.
Exactly.
The more you learn, the better equipped you'll be to succeed.
Talk to friends and family who are knowledgeable about personal finance.
Okay.
And seek guidance from financial professionals when needed.
So it's like building a network of financial mentors and advisors.
Yes, who can support you on your journey.
I like that. And remember, learning about money is an ongoing process.
It is. The more you learn, the better equipped you'll be to make sound financial decisions and achieve your goals.
Like a muscle that you need to exercise regularly.
Yes.
The more you use it, the stronger it becomes.
And with that, I think we've covered a lot of ground in part 2 of our deep dive.
We've explored a wide range of topics.
Yes.
From saving and investing to managing debt and protecting your assets.
Yeah, we've covered it all.
And most importantly, we've emphasized that financial stability is within reach for everyone.
Absolutely.
It's not about how much money you make, it's about how you manage it.
It's true. And with the right knowledge, tools, and mindset,
yes,
you can take control of your finances and build a brighter future.
We'll be back soon with part 3.
Yes.
Where we'll delve deeper into specific financial products and services.
Okay.
Explore strategies for navigating different life stages.
Sounds good.
And share inspiring stories of people who have achieved financial success.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the deep dive in parts 1 and 2. We covered a lot of practical tips for budgeting, saving, tackling debt, and even dipping our toes into that world of investing.
It's a big world out there.
It is. We talked about strategies for finding those hidden savings opportunities,
Yes.
boosting your income, and really building that solid financial foundation.
The foundation is key.
But now in this final part, let's zoom out and talk about the big picture. The mindset and habits that lead to long-term success with money.
Mindset is huge.
It's not just about the numbers, is it?
No, it's not. It's about developing a healthy relationship with money.
Okay.
Shifting your mindset from scarcity to abundance.
From feeling like you're always chasing after money to feeling like you're in control calling the shots.
Exactly. So how do we cultivate that positive money mindset?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
One of the most important things, I think, is to believe that you are capable of managing your money effectively.
You have to believe in yourself.
Yes.
Yes.
So many people feel intimidated by personal finance.
Right.
Like it's some exclusive club that they don't have access to.
It can feel that way.
Like it's this big, scary monster under the bed.
Oh, yeah.
But we're here to shine a light on that monster and show you that it's not as scary as you think.
That's what we're here for.
It's not rocket science.
No.
It's about learning some basic principles, applying them consistently, and believing in yourself.
You have the power to make positive changes.
I love that. Believing in your own ability to figure it out. What else can we do to cultivate that confident money mindset?
Another key principle is to focus on your long-term goals.
Long-term goals.
Okay. It's easy to get bogged down in the day-to-day.
Oh, for sure.
And lose sight of the bigger picture.
I am so guilty of that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get so focused on making it to Friday.
I get it.
But I forget about my bigger financial dream.
But when you have a clear vision of what you're working towards,
yeah,
it's so much easier to stay motivated and make choices that align with those goals.
It's like having a North Star to guide your financial journey.
Exactly. Whether it's saving for retirement, buying a home, starting a business, or even just that dream vacation.
Okay.
Having that North Star can really keep you on track.
I like that. But sometimes those big goals can feel so overwhelming.
Right.
Like climbing Mount Everest.
Exactly. And that's where breaking them down to smaller, more manageable steps comes in.
Smaller steps.
Overwhelm is the enemy of progress.
So true. It's like eating an elephant. You do it one bite at a time.
Exactly. If you try to do everything at once, you're more likely to get discouraged and give up. But if you set realistic, achievable milestones along the way, you can celebrate those small victories and build momentum.
And remember, progress over perfection.
Absolutely.
It's not about being perfect with your money.
Right.
It's about continuous improvements over time.
And be kind to yourself when you make mistakes.
Ooh, good advice.
We all slip up from time to time. The key is to learn from those mistakes and keep moving forward.
Don't let those setbacks derail you from your ultimate goal.
Exactly. Okay, so we've talked about mindset.
Mindset.
What about those everyday habits?
Yeah.
That can really make a difference?
Give us the inside scoop. One that we've mentioned throughout this whole deep dive.
Yes.
But can't emphasize enough is tracking your spending.
Track that spending.
Knowing where your money is actually going.
Yeah.
It's like being a detective following the money trail.
Exactly. And it doesn't have to be complicated.
Right.
There are so many apps and tools out there.
There are.
Or even a simple spreadsheet or notebook will do the trick.
The key is to find a system that works for you and actually stick with it.
Whatever works for you. I've tried those fancy apps.
Yeah.
But I always go back to my trusty spreadsheet.
Me too. It's just easier for me to visualize everything that way.
That's great. Whatever works for you. And remember, tracking your spending isn't about punishing yourself.
No.
Or feeling deprived. It's about gaining awareness and empowering yourself to make informed decisions.
It's about taking control instead of letting your money control you.
Exactly. And once you have a handle on your spending, you can start building those smart saving habits.
Paying yourself first is key.
Yes. One of the most effective ways to build wealth over time.
So set up those automatic transfers to your savings account, even if it's just a small amount to start.
Exactly. And don't wait till the end of the month to see what's left over.
No.
By saving first, you ensure that you're consistently putting money aside for your future.
It's like making a commitment to your future self.
I love that you're worth investing in.
Speaking of investing.
Oh, yeah.
That's another powerful habit to cultivate.
It is.
We touched on this in earlier parts.
We did.
But it's worth repeating because it's such a game changer when it comes to building wealth.
For sure. It can feel daunting, especially for beginners.
Oh, yeah.
But remember, it's a journey, not a destination.
Oh.
Start by educating yourself. There are tons of resources out there.
Books, articles, podcasts, online courses, you name it.
And don't be afraid to ask for help from a financial advisor if you need it.
They can be your guide through the investing jungle.
Exactly. And remember, investing is a long-term game.
Right.
Don't get discouraged by those short-term market fluctuations.
Ride those waves like a surfer.
I love that. Okay, so we've talked about mindset, saving, investing.
Is there anything else we need to add to our financial toolbox?
One more thing. Don't underestimate the power of giving back.
Oh, I love that generosity is such a secret weapon for a fulfilling life.
It really is, and it doesn't have to involve large sums of money. Whether it's volunteering your time, donating to a cause you care about, or simply helping a friend in need.
Giving back can bring a sense of purpose and fulfillment that money can't buy.
And it can also strengthen your community and make the world a better place.
It's like a ripple effect of kindness and generosity.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up this deep dive, remember, financial stability is within reach for everyone.
I believe that.
It's not about how much money you make.
Right.
It's about how you manage it, how you think about it, and how you use it to create a life you love.
It's about taking control, making informed decisions, and building a future you're excited about. Thanks for joining us on this journey, and remember, you got this. We believe in you.